So, you won a nuclear war. Congratulations. Out of billions of people, your country came out on top. Your enemies are gone, their cities are gone, and technically speaking, you're the winner, which is great. Except for one tiny problem. The world is now a radioactive wasteland, and you still have to live in it. So yeah, it really sucks to win a nuclear war. First of all, let's talk about the moment you realize you won, because nuclear wars don't end with victory parades or dramatic speeches on aircraft carriers. No, they end with silence. You wake up in a bunker, military base, or whatever underground hole humanity hid in when the missiles started flying. After a few days, or weeks, someone finally says the words, "Enemy command structure destroyed." Translation, everyone is dead. Sure, technically your side fired the last missiles. Your military still has some chain of command left. The other side is basically gone, but that's like winning a boxing match where both fighters and the audience got vaporized. Victory feels a little empty. Then comes the next step, going outside. Now before the war, Earth was a pretty nice place. Forests, cities, oceans, birds. Now, it looks like the planet lost a fight with the sun. Entire cities are gone. Not destroyed, gone. Where millions of people once lived, there's just a massive black scar on the ground. Skyscrapers melted, highways twisted, cars fused into lumps of metal. And the sky? Yeah, the sky is now a permanent shade of depressing gray. That's because all those nuclear explosions threw massive amounts of ash and dust into the atmosphere. Scientists call this nuclear winter, which is a fancy way of saying the sun is basically on vacation. Temperatures drop, crops stop growing, and the entire planet slowly turns into a frozen nightmare, which leads to your next problem, food. You see, modern civilization runs on this amazing thing called global agriculture. Farms in one country feed cities in another. Ships move grain across oceans. Trucks deliver food to supermarkets every single day. But after a nuclear war, yeah, that system is extremely dead. Ports are destroyed. Roads are gone, fuel is scarce, and half the farmland on Earth is either burned, frozen, or radioactive. So your grocery store is no longer a grocery store. It's just a building full of empty shelves and broken glass. Hope you like canned beans, because if it didn't come from a bunker or a warehouse that somehow survived the apocalypse, you're not eating it. But wait, it gets worse, because the air itself is now a problem. Every nuclear explosion throws radioactive particles into the atmosphere. This stuff eventually falls back to Earth as nuclear fallout, which is basically invisible death dust. You breathe it, you drink it, you eat food grown in contaminated soil, and over time, your body slowly accumulates radiation damage. Best case scenario, you feel sick. Worst case scenario, cancer shows up like an uninvited guest. And unfortunately, hospitals aren't doing great right now either. Most major cities had hospitals. Most major cities are now craters. Doctors are dead. Medical supply chains are gone. Even basic medicine like antibiotics becomes extremely rare. So if you break your leg, get infected, or catch a serious disease, well, good luck with that. But the real nightmare begins once the survivors start moving. Because remember, you didn't just destroy enemy governments. You destroyed entire societies. Millions of people survived the initial blasts, but their homes are gone. Their cities are gone. Their food is gone. So now they start traveling, looking for shelter, looking for food, looking for anything that still resembles civilization, which means huge groups of desperate survivors wandering across the landscape. And desperate people don't always make great neighbors. Suddenly every remaining city, bunker, or military base becomes a magnet for refugees. Some are peaceful, some are starving, some are armed, and everyone wants the same thing, your supplies. Which means even though the nuclear war technically ended, conflict is just getting started, because now every surviving region has to defend what little resources it has left. Food, fuel, clean water, all of it becomes more valuable than gold. And speaking of water, that might also be radioactive. Rivers run through contaminated zones, rain carries fallout, lakes collect pollution from destroyed industrial areas, so even finding something as simple as clean drinking water becomes a daily struggle. Welcome to life in the winning country. But the final twist of the knife is this: even if you somehow survive the first few years, the planet itself might stay messed up for decades. Radiation hotspots can last generations, ecosystems collapse, animal populations disappear, entire regions become unsafe for human life. Humanity might eventually rebuild, but the world you knew, the one with international travel, global trade, and functioning internet? Yeah, that world is gone, replaced by a patchwork of struggling survivor societies trying to rebuild civilization from the ashes, all because someone somewhere decided to press a button. So yeah, congratulations, your side won the nuclear war. Your enemy is gone. Their missiles are silent, their armies are destroyed, but now you're stuck living on a planet that looks like the aftermath of the worst idea in human history. A frozen, radioactive world where food is scarce, cities are ruins, and survival is a daily gamble, which means in the end, winning a nuclear war isn't really winning at all, because when the bombs fall, everyone loses.